Good morning, ladies and gentlefolk. So we're a few days into the new year now, and already religious and political zealots have started wreaking havoc across the world. I have no time for religious or political violence. I brook no argument in its favour. I would quite happily see an end to anyone who carries out political or religious violence against innocent people. I'm not a pacifist. I'm a gentle person, but I'm not a pacifist because I believe that pacifism has been kidnapped and adulterised, like most things in this world, to mean whatever you want it to mean at whatever moment you want it to mean that. Now, I've got that off my chest because it has been really buggering up my head for a few days. But now the weather has settled. We are in for another spell of snow. But at least I can get in the car and I can come out here and Molly can run round and it's fantastic. And everybody else has got to go to work. But we don't. We've got this playground. Nature's playground. Come and join us in nature's playground. Now, I don't know what it's been like in wherever you are on this blue and green orb, but here in the UK we've suffered from pretty appalling weather, and I think it's been all over the country as far as I can see, and it's flooded and the roads are flooded and everybody's stuck at home and it's awful, and it obviously adversely affects your mood. It's going to, isn't it? It affects your mood just like the news I was talking about previously affects your mood. And if you're like me and you've got a desire to know what's going on in the world, it's not like I can shut off, I can't shut off. I have this pathological desire to consume news, and that news is political, social, it's even news about the weather we're having, and I need to consume that. But that will affect your mood. That will affect your mood. I don't care what you say, it will. So how do we go about stopping it? Taking in the news, but stopping it affecting our mood, spoiling our day, because every hour spent thinking about something else is an hour wasted. It's an hour off your life, because we have a certain amount of time here, and if you spend time thinking and worrying and gnarling and groaning and shouting and arguing and feeling angst about something, it doesn't mean that you can kind of say, oh well, I had a bad hour and a bad hour here and a bad hour there, so can I add that on to my life because that was wasted? Because no. So if you spend, by very definition, if you spend all your time moaning and grumbling, you will have no life. So how do we go about being aware and not being adversely affected? I don't know. See, you didn't expect me to say that, did you? I don't know. I've only come out here today with an opinion. I've not come out here with any ways to solve this. But one thing you do, or one thing you should do, is talk about it. Get it out of your system. Even if that is just talking to yourself, talking to a camera, talking to somebody else, driving somebody else up the wall with your moaning, but probably making them think about it as well. So that's it. It's just an opinion. I have not a clue. I'm just here to reinforce the benefits of being out in the countryside. You could ignore the news if you wanted to. No, I can't do that. I'd be wondering, what's going on in the world? Is there a nuclear war going on just the other side of that hill? You know, are aliens going to come down and transport me up into the mothership and do a colonoscopy on me to find out what makes me tick? I don't know. So I can't live like that. Some may be able to, but I can't. So I've got to consume news of every type. Like I say, I've no quick fix, but one thing I can tell you is that when you're out in the countryside, whether you're in a field like I am, on the side of a hill, in a valley, on a mountain top, on a beach somewhere, in a woodland, in a desert, or wherever, I can guarantee that the people you come across and the people you talk to will all seem free of angst, won't they? Think about it. Think about this, because I bet you haven't thought about it, is when you come across people and you're out walking in the countryside, people don't walk up to you and go, oh, what about this has happened and what about that's happened, what do you think about that? No, they come up to you and go, hiya, how you doing? Isn't it beautiful? Have a great day. And they go away free from angst. And that's why you should spend as much time as possible in the countryside. If you can't get out in the countryside, spend it at home doing things that you find relaxing and pleasurable. Even watching programmes on YouTube, there's loads, fabulous programmes, fabulous videos about the countryside, here in the UK, all over the world, everywhere. And you can sit and you can watch those and it will transport you away from this hellhole that is controlled by politicians, policymakers. They're playing us like with puppets on the end of a screen, and the way you get away from that is to come out here where they can't get at you. They can't get at you no matter how much they want to. They can't influence your thoughts at all, because out here it is just wonderful. Today is wonderful. It's very still, it's very cold. The snow is all over the ground. Nothing's moving. There's clouds. The sun is trying to come through the cloud over there. There is patches of blue sky. I don't know what the weather is going to do later today, but I'm not bothered, because we will have had our daily dose of this, of the peace and the tranquility and the beauty, the stunning beauty of the countryside. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what your countryside is like, it's your countryside. I always say, when people say, oh, this is the best country in the world and this is the best country in the world, and I always say the best country in the world is the one you live in, is the one you love. That's the best country in the world. So this is the best country in the world. Molly's the best dog in the world. That up there is the best sun in the world. These trees are the best trees in the world. This snow is the best snow in the world. And it's lovely being out here. When we're at home, or when we're out in the countryside, away from the media, away from the news, away from other people in general, we have little time to dwell on that barrage of white noise, of negativity. There seems to be a constant, just like light waves coming through the atmosphere. Bad feeling and angst is like waves coming through the atmosphere. And we have little time to dwell on all that nonsense. We know it's happening. We know it's there. We have our opinions. But when we're out here, and when you're on your own, and when you're away from all that, you can file it away in a little cabinet, on a computer file, wherever you want to. You can file it away under S for shit happens. We mourn victims and we rail against perpetrators, and rightly so. But it all has its place. And this place isn't where it should be. Don't feel guilty for not thinking about these things constantly, because you've got yourself to think about as well. That's just as important as anything else. Places like this are important. They keep us sane and they ward off that black dog. It doesn't matter how much is in the bank account or what's happening in the world, just for a little while, just while you're here, because here is a beautiful place to be. Somebody's built a snowman over there. Somebody's running about with the dog over there. They're not worried about what's going on in the world. just for a precious hour or two before we go back to normality. So be peaceful in 2025. And we shall see you all on the flip, weather permitting. Peace and love.